Hey folks, welcome back to Skyward Sword. Here at the Temple of the Goddess, and we are looking for our Loftwing. It has mysteriously gone missing, and we need to find it in time for the wing ceremony. Now there's no better place to start looking for a missing thing than in the plaza of the main town, because that's where gossip is and all that good stuff.
No.
Well, I'd better. Well, how will I fly in ceremony without him? That's the worst pun I've ever heard. So this here is the game's excuse for you to explore Skyloft, because they don't trust you to explore on your own. Anyway, look, there's a rolling tutorial over there. See him there? If you walk past him, he'll try to tell you how to roll, but we're just too pro. Anyway, this is the game we're trying to get you to explore, giving you a good reason to, which they tend to do in 3D Zeldas, because, you know, exploratory nature is simply not enough. And here's our first lead. There's always a tall one, a short one, and a buff one. That's always how it works. This here is Groose and his cohorts. Groose is the best character in the game, basically. I love him so much. A lot of people compare him to Biff Tannen. I think he's a bit more of a Gaston kind of character. But the difference is that he has a Pompadour. And also a character arc. Alone time. It is the best hair, I say that unironically. Also the only Pompadour, because only he can get away with it. Haha, get it? In the clouds because we're in the clouds? Oh good, our girlfriend is here to bail us out. See what I mean about, really, Zelda wears the pants in this relationship?
No.
This is so anime. You see how cool that was? Best character. Gee, you don't say. But they're not gonna talk. We'll have to find someone who knows about their plan. look so lonely, Link. Alright, let's go find our bird. Now, how are we gonna find it? The only people who would possibly know are dicks, and, they would not tell us. Screw you, Roland Kid. Well, maybe someone overheard their plan. Now, I'll admit, it's not entirely intuitive where you should go to find this information. So it kind of leaves you to run around and find your own way. And eventually, you'll find this conversation.
Yeah?
Look at that guy's outfit. Look how dumb it is. I mean, look at that hat. That's ridiculous. That's the dumbest hat. It's also the knight's uniform, so I guess we'll have to get used to it. And so our suspicions are confirmed. Groose indeed had a hand in our bird's disappearance. A waterfall. Well, if you looked at the cutscene right after we found out that the Loftwing was missing, we saw a waterfall nicely demonstrated with the camera, and if you didn't, you can also find it on the map. Conveniently marked with X.
Oh.
Now this here is the sparring hall. It's a really dumb idea to try go after our bird without anything to defend ourselves. And the game will tell you as much if you attempt to do so. So clearly, we need to get a sword. Now, the sword play is kind of the most touted feature of the game, as you can probably guess, since it's called Skyward Sword and everything. Sweet. Now, I'll go into the details of the combat as it becomes relevant, but nice thing is, you're not actually forced to learn how to use it here in this hall. You can if you want. There is a tutorial designed if you so desire, but you can totally just skip out and leave. Now, if you're not a veteran of the game like I am, tutorial's probably a good idea. But just in case, like, if you want to speed through the game, feel free to leave. Right, practice. Practice is a thing that I will definitely do. Not in here, leaving right now. So, now we have a sword, and now we can safely go over to the waterfall and chase after our Loftwing. And hello, what do we have here? Well, doesn't that look familiar? Again, if you're familiar with the 3D Zeldas, you will most likely recognize this little dude. It is a Sheikah Stone, not to be confused with a Gossip Stone. Sheikah Stones are essentially video tutorials on how to do various things in the game. Whether it's a simple action or a secret, or just a hint. First appeared in Ocarina of Time 3DS, and then again here. Very close relative of the Gossip Stone, which would just give you less obvious hints. And we will be learning more about the Sheikah, upon which they are named, in the future. Again, if you are familiar with the series, you're probably familiar with the Sheikah. And now it's just a matter of getting to that waterfall, which brings us over to the other side of the map, basically. Hello, little girl.
Hi.
Hello, Kukio. I hope she has fun with her friend. I'll bet that friend is a kind, upstanding individual. Though I can't think of any children her age here. Oh well. Alright, so when I first played this game, I saw this statue with its eye missing. And if you've ever played a game, even remotely similar to Zelda, you can bet your ass we're gonna find the eye, the other eye somewhere. We're gonna put it in there, and things are gonna happen. And there's our birdie. Let's get in there. Using the powers of slashing. Now this here, the Waterfall Cave, is your introduction to combat proper. If you did the tutorial in the sparring hall, you've acted against non-moving objects. And here, you have actual enemies to deal with, along with green rupees. Love them. Now, combat in this game is honestly pretty simple. It uses the Wii Motion Plus, and essentially, you swing in one of the 8 cardinal directions, well, 4 cardinal directions along with the diagonals, and your sword will move in that same direction. And I find it very smooth, very intuitive, very easy, very fun. Others find it an affront to everything ever, basically. I'm not in that party, I really like it. But your mileage may vary. You may be a person who hates fun, and if that's the case, that's unfortunate, I'm sorry. Now, the use of the Wii Motion Plus in this game wasn't always set in stone. It was originally developed without it, and then once Wii Motion Plus became a thing, producers wanted them to promote the Wii Motion Plus in the new Zelda game, because Zelda games sell like hell, and thus they would sell a lot of Wii Motion Plus. But they ran into a lot of problems implementing them, and implementing the functionality, and they actually dropped it at one point until the producers complained again, and they were forced to re-implement it. And overall, I think they made it work pretty darn well. But it's something of an interesting history. The game that would sell the Wii Motion Plus wasn't originally going to have it. And here we are, outside of... Hello. Well, look who decided to show up. See that? That's a storm cloud. That's dangerous. You know what isn't dangerous? This dude. Birdie. Now I need to decide on a name for Birdie here. And since I've already called him Birdie twice, I think that's going to be the decision. He's Birdie. Anyway, in case you haven't figured out directions yet, this unlocking thing requires you to slash in proper directions. I think that's a clever way of implementing that. Birdie, come to me. Now, Birdie here is polarizing, much like the sword play. Because Birdie is controlled completely by the Wii Motion Plus. You tilt in the direction that you want to go, you do some pumping action in order to flap, and overall, it works really, really well. Unless you hate motion controls on principle, or you suck at them, or they just don't work for you, or something. But again, personally, I think that any complaints about the controls of the bird are inapplicable to me. Overuse of the bird, that's another thing. But overall, Birdie here is a replacement for the horse of previous Zelda games, 3D Zelda games anyway, and it's only fitting that it be red, just like Epona. Now you'll get a lot of footage of Birdie's bum there, so hope you get used to it. I love that Groose calls him out on this, because it's totally true. Awkward.
Hey!
So really, this isn't much of a race. It's more of you have to catch this bird. So it's really not a race at all. I don't know why Groose thought it was. The 25th anniversary, coincidentally coinciding with the 25th anniversary of the Zelda franchise. What a strange coincidence.
Hey! Hey!
So now that we've had a little time to adjust to the controls of flying, we have to put them into action. Now, I'm fairly sure that it's impossible for the other characters to actually win this. It's just a matter of you eventually being able to do it. So you gotta catch that gold guy. And once you get close enough, you can press A to attempt to grab the statuette. And I'll admit, this is a bit tricky. I had trouble my first time, because you're essentially aiming for a rather small and quick target in a three-dimensional space. And that's always going to be a little tricky. Luckily, that icon appears to make finding it easier. I still think that areas like this are kind of hampered by the Wii's low rendering resolution. Would have worked a lot better in HD, so you could actually see things. Anyway, don't run out of boost. That's a bad thing. And that takes care of that. And I'll see you guys next time for the celebration.